It was a true, genuine grassroots exchange. This project was about achieving new goals and reaching a new level.
Soccer boots.
Shoes, bags, more shoes, Rick Plant, soccer shop.
In 2019, Hunter and I, it might have even been 2018, we talked about going to see Nathan in Africa.
I've known Hunter since 2011. And in 2011, I was his assistant soccer coach at Bozeman High School for 3 years. And then I got married and left him, and we moved to Africa. And he's like followed us since we've been here. And then about 3 years ago, he's like, I really want to come. I want to help. I want to see what you guys are doing. I just want to come and coach.
This was an opportunity for me to take my game as a coach to a whole new level.
Then Hunter said, well, what if we bring a couple players or something? And I was just like, okay, yeah, that sounds fun. And then, and with no idea how or what we were doing or how we were going to do it. And then he was like, what if we bring a whole team and go play soccer and have a tournament? And I was like, that sounds crazy to me, and it sounds like a lot of work, but let's do it.
So the first thing that I ended up doing was that Nathan and I started communicating, and we started bouncing ideas off of each other. And then the next thing that I knew that I needed to do was I needed to get some parents together. And so I did some unique things.
Big preparation came with us meeting with all the parents all the time. Parents of the kids that were committed to go really stepped up.
So what do you guys think of this idea? And they liked it, and we bounced some ideas off, and then I grew it to 5 parents. And then I had a meeting with those 5 parents and Nathan and Emily. And so then we all sat down and we started bouncing ideas off of each other, and then COVID hit.
They started the meetings almost a year before they were coming, and we thought that was crazy because stuff in Africa happens like so last minute. Preparation meetings started a year before, and I can understand why that is the case. I think that the trip was so good because of the amazing leaders and the amazing prep work that was done beforehand.
First of all, we knew we were going to probably try to build a locker room while we were there. So we tried to first engage in the people we thought best for those projects, which was Bill and Robin Bullock.
Bill and I just started talking about it, and we were like, all right.
I don't remember it being a real long conversation, but he told me about Nathan and Emily and what they were doing and his history. Hunter told me what he wanted to do, and he said, and you know, you guys are the only ones that I know that actually have built soccer fields, so why don't you come along? And it maybe took us 15 seconds to say, okay.
And that is when the planning into certain projects became more defined.
We kept meeting, and we started bringing in all these entities, and then Robin was like, hey, let's bring in the School of Mines. So then we brought in the School of Mines.
When Bill and Hunter first mentioned this, we were talking about what might be possible to be done there. And we were just developing some projects for the Capstone Senior Design Projects, which is a year-long course at Mines and at many colleges. And there was an opportunity to say, are there some projects that some engineering design students could actually work on for a year in preparation for going there? And that's how we came up with 2 different projects. Colorado School of Mines agreed that those would be good projects. They helped provide some funding for the students to work on those projects. And that's what we ultimately built the building based on a student design that came out of that curriculum.
They put together a design team. They turned down a project from NASA to be part of this.
We started thinking of other projects. We decided we were going to bring a referee. We have the capabilities to have a referee course while we're there.
Yeah, Hunter just asked me, I don't know, right at the beginning about coming over to do something with referees. And initially it was to referee in the tournament and then run a clinic for the New Visions coaches and stuff like that. So yeah, it was pretty early on.
We wanted to bring an athletic trainer to help, teach them how to treat injuries, because there's no treating injuries there. And if they do, it's not always correct.
One day he was just saying, hey, I'm thinking about taking a group of the team over to Tanzania. And I didn't know why. So I asked him, why would you do that? I mean, it sounds pretty cool, but why would you do that? And he explained that Nathan, who I knew as his assistant coach from a few years back, had gone over there to live and had kind of a soccer academy going on over there. And they thought it'd be a cool idea to have an exchange. And so I didn't hesitate. I said, yep, sign me up. I'll go.
Hunter had been kind of putting the idea out there to players. And he mentioned it to me one day just after practice when we were chatting, and said that he was bringing a group to Tanzania and asked if that was something I'd be interested in. And immediately I just thought, absolutely. Like, when am I going to go to Africa with a group of soccer players again?
That got me involved with more of a training style, agility, strength, stuff that they also don't do. They don't even stretch, they have no really knowledge of what stretching does for you.
Some of the initial obstacles were just, would we get the fundraising associated with actually building?
Fundraising was a huge challenge. Huge challenge.
The fundraising piece was definitely the biggest planning that had to be done. There were lots of activities, we had auctions, we had little sip and bid things at breweries, we had parking. I think they helped with parking at MSU football games.
The Bozeman community is an incredible community, and we had a ton of support in this community, from local businesses to just everyday people wanting to help and be excited about this exchange.
There were so many fundraisers and so many kids going out and asking for money. So the parents and the players really came together on that piece. That was probably definitely the hardest, longest process.
Everyone really got behind our youth in this area and youth soccer players, and sponsoring and putting money towards this incredible exchange. Close to 100 different small businesses giving some small donations, some big. We put in for a global grant through Rotary Club. And one of the things, and they had this criteria of 7 areas where you need to apply for a global grant. And the one that we picked was peacemaking and conflict resolution.
The fundraising and the grant writing and asking for money. And we were turned down a lot. And it was tough because some of the people that turned us down, we worked really, really hard to get money from them, donations from them, and they just didn't think it was the right fit, and that's totally fine. But it was kind of a hit in the gut during those times. But
And then our players, hands down, were where the rubber meets the road.
We had some success. Me and Simon did a lot of the fundraising together, but it was mostly just sending out emails. And for a while there, it seemed like nobody was emailing back, but then a couple emails came through, and it was really good to see some people starting to kind of reach out and respond to us about the fundraising. So that was good, but felt like it took a while to get going.
Me and my dad, we sent a bunch of emails to people that were like long shots, like some foundations and stuff, and a lot of those we didn't hear back from. But then once we would get to the like local businesses, we'd set up meetings, and I'd throw some nice clothes in my car to change into after school, and then I'd drive to the business we were going to. Me and Weston had a couple of those where after school we'd go stop by and talk to whoever would be donating, and we'd give them the sales pitch. And I'd say definitely hit it big with the local scene.
We ended up having like a little grant committee where we were trying to get grants. The Jeremy Bullock Foundation helping us with that, and we were reaching out to some big businesses, and we were reaching out to other charitable groups. It was really incredible to watch our young players go out and fundraise and work hard and ask businesses and people to help fund this exchange. It was amazing how excited, when I would call these businesses and tell them about our projects, how excited they were, but also really excited to not only sponsor it, but be part of it. And really fun players going overseas. We were working really hard fundraising, and we were coming up pretty short on some of our goals. All the way up until early June, I was like really having a hard time seeing us being able to fund the things that we wanted to fund. And we were a month away. Bernie Allen and his foundation made a huge $18,000 donation. And it was right at the last minute. And it sealed the deal on the building project and really being able to bring all the extra soccer gear that we brought. It ended up being a huge donation that came up at the last minute. And then we were working all the way to the last minute. Thing that made it work was the incredible leadership that went into this. And I'm not talking about project leaders alone. I'm talking about players. I'm talking about parents. And I am talking about leadership. I'm talking about Nathan and Emily. It worked because we were determined, and we were focused, and we were in pursuit of reaching an incredible goal.
That was the beginning.